Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamie. I am a 32-year-old zero-based cashless budgeter and stuffer. And today we're going to be stuffing my first paycheck for the month of September. So I have $196.83 to work with. It is lower than I would like. I do aim for around $300, but I went to a concert with one of my friends last night. I'm filming on Monday, so Sunday night we went to a show and got dinner beforehand, so I didn't have as much time to DoorDash as I wanted to. And then I am going to a festival this week, so I worked late every day this week, so I didn't get the chance to DoorDash during the week. But we still have a decent amount to work with this week. Sorry, one of my cats is trying to break into the room, so if you can hear scratching, that's what that is. But let's just go ahead and get started. So we're going to take that 83 cents and that is going to go straight into my round up. And that is going to leave us with 196 to work with for the week. So we'll start with my variable expenses like always. So buffer, we are not going to add anything to buffer. We never add anything to buffer. It just sits there, covers my transactions until I move the money out of the envelopes and in case I have any overspending. Crochet by Jamie, this week we are going to add $5. I did make 2 sales actually in the past week, so that covered almost all of my Etsy fees, which is great because we don't have any money in here to cover my Etsy fees. And then this $5 will actually cover the rest of my fees. Gas, we have 20, 40, 60, 85, 6, 7, and 8. Because this week I am going to a festival out in Kansas, I'm going to use my festival money to pay for gas, so I don't need as much gas money as I normally stuff, but I am still going to do, let's do $50 into gas. That will make sure that I have enough money for whenever I get back. Groceries, we have, I think it's just $1. We have $1. I'm not going to put very much in here because I am going to that festival. Any food I buy will be coming out of the festival's budget. And I am so sorry for the scratching. 1 second, let me let her in so she stops. Okay, we're back. The cat's in the office, so if you hear any more noises, it's still her. But so I'm not going to need to spend any money on groceries for the next week. And then whenever I get back, I may still have some meal preps left. So I shouldn't need to buy groceries for a little bit. So we are only going to put $10 into groceries for this week. Prescriptions, I did pick up a couple of my prescriptions this week. We're just going to stuff its normal $5. And then spending is also going to get its normal $5. So in variable expenses for the week, we have $75. Okay, moving on to my high priority binder. Starting off with car costs, I did have to spend out of this envelope this week. I got a flat tire, so I had to spend some money. But we, before unstuffing, have $4.15. We are just going to do $5 into car costs for the week. Debt payoff, we have $2.20. We are just going to give it $10 for this week, and I will start working on this more after I get back from my festivals. So starting in October, we'll work on debt payoff more. Festivals has $170. I did do some spending this week to get ready for it, but as of now, we have $170. So we're gonna add $50. I hope that's enough money to cover gas. I'll have to fill up 4 to 5 times, I think, on the way to and from. But I will be in the Midwest, so gas will definitely be cheaper than it is in Pennsylvania, which is excellent. Gifts, we have $165. I need to remember to erase this tracker. Let me just put a little star there so I remember. So we have $165. This is for Christmas presents for my family, for additional gifts for additional gifts above the gifts that I'm making them. And then I have a friend who's getting married next October, and my sister's getting married either next fall or the spring after. So need to save up for those as well, but we're just adding $5 into gifts this week. And then taxes is just getting $5. I know a lot of people save 30% or at least 20% of their side hustle income. But my big girl job gives me I get a really large refund from my big girl job, which has last year was enough to cover my DoorDash earnings, and I'm making less this year than I was last year. And I also don't pay taxes on my entire DoorDash earnings because I claim mileage from my car, so I don't pay taxes on that full amount. So the $5, I mean, I would like to do more than $5, but it should still be enough, and I should still have money left over at the end of the year. So also $75 in high priority. I'm not sure why I could do that mentally for variable expenses, but not for high priority. But it is what it is. Okay, so next we're going to move into my low priority binder. Starting off with Body Mods. There was a an event this past weekend for like a cat fundraising tattoo event, but I don't have enough money in this envelope, and I'm not going to a festival where I'm not going to be showering for a week with a fresh tattoo. That is just asking for an infection. So we're just saving up for most likely the next Friday the 13th flash event at my tattoo shop. So we're just going to add $1 in here. Those tattoos are like $60 after the included tip, and then I usually tip above that. So even just $1 a week will have more than enough money to get at least one flash tattoo. Electronics is going to be getting $1. I'm saving up for a new Apple Watch slowly. Fitness is going to get $5. We have an IOU in here right now. We're just making up for a subscription to a shoe, the website I buy my shoes from. So we have to cover that IOU, and then we'll start saving up for future races. Hair and lashes is going to be getting $5 this week. Yes, $5. Shindigs and Shenanigans is getting $5 this week as well. Shopping is stuffed based on my weight loss. So I lost 0.2 pounds this past week. And we do $5 per pound lost. So that is $4. And then, oops. Travel, I'm saving up for a trip to Hawaii for my 35th birthday. We'll need to eventually start stuffing this pretty heavily, but right now we're just going to be doing $5 into travel. So in low priority, we have $26. And finally, we're going to go into my long-term savings binder. So first we have 52 cats, which is my version of the 52-week challenge. So this week we are going to be doing the $11 cat. So it's nice that it's not one of these like really low level cats, but you know, I would have liked to have done the $35 cat this week, but we didn't have enough money in the budget. So it is what it is. Cats, just my children's emergency fund, they'll be getting $1. Home improvement, we'll be getting $1. I have not heard back from the roofers, so I will have to follow up with them after I get back from Kansas next week. Medical this week is also getting, oh, I didn't write medical in here. But medical is getting $1 this week as well. Month ahead, we are going to be giving $5. So my goal is to eventually get a month ahead, but this tracker in here is just for $1,000. And then whenever we get to $1,000, then I might start a month ahead envelope, or I might just erase this and put this to what I actually need for a month ahead to build up my emergency fund there in case anything happens with my job, which we did just have a round of layoffs. I survived the cuts, but a lot of one person per group did not. And you know, hopefully we don't have another round of layoffs. If we do, hopefully it's not for a long time, and hopefully I don't get caught up in them. But it is good to have this month ahead in case anything happens. Roundup challenge is just going to get that 83 cents. My envelope is falling apart. I need to run this back through the laminator. And wedding is stuffed based on my relationship status. I am single, so we're just going to give it $1. That is all my envelopes. So $20 into my long-term savings. So let's just make sure that these add up to $196. So we have 75, 75, 26, and 20. Great. So every dollar has a location for this week. So the final thing that we need to do is just do my cash breakdown to see what bills I need to pull whenever I do my unstuffing. So Crochet by Jamie will get a 5, gas will get a 50, groceries a 10, prescriptions and spending a 5, car costs a 5, debt payoff a 10, festivals a 50, gifts and taxes get 5s. Body Model Electronics get 1, fitness, hair, shindigs get 5, shopping gets 2 2s, and travel gets a 5. 52 cats will get a 10 and a 1, cats will get a 1, home will get a 1, month ahead will get a 5, wedding will get a 1, medical will get a 1, and then that 83 cents, if we push over the next dollar, I'll just grab $1 from my stash and we'll add that in. No 20s this week, interesting. So we have 150s, nothing in 20s, 30 in 10s, 55 in 5s, 4 in 2s, and 7 in 1s. So let's just make sure that this also adds up to 196. Oh, what did I do there? $196. Perfect. So that is all of our money budgeted out for the week. We have everything added up correctly. So that is going to be it for this video. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, and I will see you on Wednesday for my cash stuffing.